Hello YouTube, Captain Mac here, and what you're looking at needs no introduction. That's right, ladies and germs, we are going to be flying into St. Bart's today. I mean, it makes sense after all. Our last approach was into St. Martin, Princess Juliana. It was a good time, not a real difficult approach, but certainly an interesting one. But when it comes to unusual, difficult, and dangerous approaches, St. Bart's has all three. It's very unusual. It's a short runway. It's in a weird, awkward location. It's certainly difficult coming in over the top of the hill there, making sure you don't run into the traffic, diving over down the slope of the hill, and still trying to flare the aircraft and get it down on the runway before you run into the ocean. And then, of course, there's no doubt this approach is extremely dangerous. You must have special clearance and special training to be able to land here. We have neither. That's all right. We're going to land here anyway because, hey, we do what we want. We're going to try not to do anything too foolish. We will be flying from St. Martin on over here to St. Bart's. It's not a very long flight. It's like 10 minutes. I'm not going to make you watch the entire flight. This will probably be one of our shorter videos. But I'm going to bring you in time for the final approach and see how it goes. Now, I have flown this a few times. I do have the add-on scenery. If you have the FSX default, well, it just looks like crap. It's a little strip of flat land, and there's really no hills there, and it's just pathetic. So I did get an add-on for it, and I do have it on here. So we will get the full experience, if you will, for landing at St. Bart's. So buckle up, strap yourself in tight, and grab onto something because this is going to be a hairy ride, ladies and germs. Alright, since there is no approach chart for St. Bart's, I just pulled it up on Sky Vector here, and we're leaving from here, St. Martin, and you can see it's not very far at all. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump in this little twin Otter that we're going to be flying today. We will obviously be landing on runway 10. That's the one that goes this way, the more difficult approach. And I scoured. I looked everywhere I could. I even looked to see if I could find a homemade approach chart just to have something to show you guys, but there just isn't one there. There are no approach charts for St. Bart's. So when we take off here, I don't know off the top of my head which runway we're taking, but regardless, we're going to come out down over this way, pretty much a direct route to St. Bart's. And when we get in this vicinity here, we'll hang out in this area so that we can get a direct in approach. So I'll probably hop on here with you guys when we get right around in here. We're not going to fly any more than probably 3,000 feet, maybe. That's going to be about it. So let's hop on in the aircraft. Well, by the time you see it anyway, we're already going to be airborne, and let's see if we can land at St. Bart's without crashing into the mountain or crashing into the ocean. Alright, here we are in our twin Otter, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you with a sharp eye, it is indeed the Aerosoft twin Otter extended, and to answer that question rattling in your brain right now, no. This is in no way intended to be a tutorial on how to fly the twin Otter extended from Aerosoft, and I'll tell you why. Because I haven't had the opportunity to even study this thing yet. I don't know. All I'm doing is using basic piloting skills with my basic understanding of how a turboprop aircraft works. I'm not even sure this is a turboprop. I don't think it is, actually. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm just using basic piloting skills to fly this thing. Now, as we're coming in here, I'm going to go ahead and bring the props forward, full forward. You can hear them spinning up there now. This little rock or little island out here, I found that going straight towards this is going to give you a good angle in on the runway there. Plenty of distance out from the runway so you can see it and get lined up in time. And so that's what we're doing, is we're shooting straight for that right now. And these throttles are about to come way back because we need to slow down early. I've flown this a few times, as I said. I've made several attempts, and that is indeed what they were, attempts. I wouldn't say any of them was particularly good. So, but what I do know is you need to get the aircraft slowed down, and the throttles or the props on this particular aircraft are a little bit slow to react. They don't just spin right in like you'd hope them to. So you need to really be established at the speed you want as you start your descent in on the approach. So that's what we're going for right now, and as we continue towards this little rock, the runway is going to be right on the other side of this hill right here. So something to keep in mind there. That's where we're going to be headed. And as the speed bleeds off, the nose wants to keep coming down. I'm trying to keep it right around 1,500 feet. We're at 1,400 now. Doing all right. Okay, we can bring in that first flap setting now. There she is coming in. That's going to help add a little lift. We're going to need to bring throttle in. You can hear it starting to come up a little bit. It really takes its time coming up. We can bring in the next flap setting. And if you look over there, you can't quite make out the runway yet. We don't want to get too fast. Still at 1,400, doing pretty good. You can, well, you still can't make out the runway from where we're at right now. So, just trying to work the trim a little bit here. Now you can see the runway. You can just make it out right there on the other side of the hill. That's where we're headed. So we'll start turning that way. Yep, because we're just past it a little bit right now. We don't want to make too sharp a turn. Another setting of flaps, and we'll start a very, very gradual descent here. And the reason we want it gradual is because it's actually a relatively steep approach. Now you can see we overshot just a little bit. That's why I like to start way out here by that rock. Gives me plenty of time to get back around and lined up. And what are we at on flaps? We got one more setting there. Full flaps, flaps 40. That really high flap setting is one of the things that makes this aircraft so versatile. It can land on these really short runways with a real steep approach like that. And again, I don't really know much about it, so if you're a Twin Otter guy and I'm making a fool of myself, please don't beat me up in the comments. This is never intended to be a tutorial on how to fly this aircraft, rather a bit of a tutorial on how to land at St. Barts. Remember, we do have add-on scenery. I can't remember the developer of this particular scenery. You may know it though. I got St. Martin, Saba Island, and this one all in one package. So pretty good deal there. Still trying to get that trim to come up a little bit. I'm actually holding the yoke to keep from descending too quick. Kind of frustrating. I don't know if there's something I'm supposed to do with the trim. Speed's actually looking pretty good. That's where I want to be, right around 75 knots. Got just a touch of crosswind off the left, not too bad there. And we're just a little high, I think. Just a little, not much. So you can see it's fully a visual approach here. There are no PAPI lights or VASI lights. There's nothing there to give you any indication other than your eyeballs. So we do have some cloud cover, but it's pretty high right now. It's at about 3,000 feet, so not really an issue for us. I'm slowly pulling those throttles back. You might be able to see that just up there in the corner. We're actually looking pretty good right here. It looks like we're going to run into that mountain, but we're actually just going to clear it if the nose doesn't drop on me too much. You got to watch that speed too. You don't want to stall the aircraft. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Captain Mac landing at St. Barts, the infamous St. Barts. Looking pretty good right here. Looking pretty good. Alright, let that nose come down. Oh yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Come on in. Flare. Not too much. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, not bad, huh? Little reverse there. Oh. right, let's get this bird turned around and take it over to the parking space here. Gonna need some throttle to get up the hill here. You certainly couldn't take off in this direction, could you? Alrighty. Boy, we got her going though, didn't we? I don't know how loud I actually need to talk. A little fast. There we go. I don't know how loud these engines actually are as far as the video is concerned, so I'm trying to make sure I talk loud enough without yelling at the top of my lungs. Beautifully done little scenery here. If you've ever seen the, if you've come over here in the default FSX scenery, well, it's disgusting. There's no other way to put it. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm not totally confident in my wingspan, so I'm going to stay on this outside taxi line here. If we can get this aircraft coming up the hill. A little bit further now. Our passengers are ready to hop off. I'm sure they enjoyed the ride though. Bring it on up here. And I'm not going to do what you might call a proper shutdown by any means. What I'm going to do is just cut the fuel so that the engines aren't too loud. And we hop on outside here as the engines finish spinning down. They should shut off. I cut off the fuel, so that is it. That is all and no more, ladies and gentlemen. Very short flight, very short experience this time, but there she is, the hill. We came right over the top of it, put it down very nicely. I thought we did pretty darn good, so I'm happy with that. I hope that you are too, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. I enjoyed this one. This was a lot of fun. That's a neat little approach there. I'm probably going to fly it a couple more times when I hop off of here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And as always, if you have any comments or any suggestions, please leave it in the comments section down below. Give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'm Captain Mac. And as always, keep the blue side up unless otherwise instructed by ATC.